So in the last video, we talked about 5 insights that I have learned from the world-class vocal coach, Brett Manning. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 more insights that I have learned from my personal vocal coach, Tyler WYSONG. Now, there is a connection between Brett Manning and Tyler WYSONG because I discovered Tyler WYSONG when he was an associate coach within the Singing Success hierarchy, if you will. So as an associate coach at Singing Success in like 2014, 2015, I think, that was when I took a few lessons. This was probably 2014 when Tyler was there. And I loved his teaching style. He was he just made me feel good when I was on the calls, and he got me real results too. And the combination of those two things was just, as if you're a coach, that is the gold. You know, if you can make people feel good when they're talking to you and you can get them real-time results, that's the dream. And that was the case with Tyler. And so I didn't really do any vocal lessons for a couple years after that. It was probably only 2 or 3 lessons over Skype that I took with Tyler WYSONG while he was an associate coach at Singing Success. And then a couple years later, I was trying to reboot my voice again because I still had a lot of issues that I was struggling with, bad habits I had fallen back on, and I felt the need again to get my own vocal coach. And so because I had I think we were Facebook friends, I reached out to him on Facebook Messenger, just asking him if he's still doing vocal coaching. He said he was, and I went ahead and I scheduled, I think, a 10-lesson plan that, it took a few months for us to get through all those 10 lessons. But in that 10-lesson plan, I learned so much. That really was the turning point for me at that time because I learned so much. I grew my skills so much, and I'm just going to share now a few of the insights, a few of my favorite insights I learned from Tyler WYSONG with him being my personal vocal coach. And of course, go check out Tyler WYSONG's YouTube channel. Go check out his website. Go show him some love. He is not only an amazing vocal coach, he's an amazing human being. And seriously, he's one of the greats. He is incredible at what he does. So be sure to go check him out beyond just watching the insights that I've learned from him here. Okay. The first insight that I want to share that I learned personally from Tyler, I vividly remember the first time that he showed me this, and immediately a light bulb went on because it was one of those tools, one of those techniques that just immediately made a difference. And that is the cool air breath. What the cool air breath is simply breathing kind of through the front of your mouth. So if you think of the way that you might normally breathe, if you breathe through the back of your throat. So at home, while you're watching this, do this. Breathe through the back of your throat where everything kind of opens up, right? You can feel all the cool air running all the way down your throat. So that is an example of what you do not want to do because that adds tension. When you go, it's just you're actually starting off before you even sing a word, you're already in a tense place. Versus what Tyler taught me to do, and this was a game changer, was the cool air breath, which is the breath at the front of the mouth. So you want to breathe in more like this. Kind of purse your lips a little bit. And when you breathe that way, you can feel the cool air in the front, nothing in the back. The back feels warm, feels neutral. There's nothing going on. There's not all that tension and stress that is being activated by when you do that. Instead, just, and then when you sing on that, flickering light, my satellite. Oh, maybe I'm breathing just through the front of my mouth. If you imagine just from like here out, it's almost like I'm breathing just in this little area, not back here. I'm not doing that. I'm just, and it's so much more relaxing. So much more relaxing. This is a game changer. Go try this out because it's if you feel like you are tense before you even start to sing the word, your inhale might be part of the problem. And so if you can fix that, you're setting yourself up to be able to sing better and have better tone and hit the high notes and have better pitch, have better timing, all of it, if you can just fix this part. Just instead of breathing through the back of your throat, focus the breath where you feel the cool air in the front of your mouth. And that's it. That is it. So that's number 1, the cool air breath. The number 2 insight from Tyler WYSONG is this. Mixed voice is key. Mixed voice is key. Now, you probably have heard of mixed voice because it has become a bit of a trendy topic on YouTube and on the internet over the past couple years. But it wasn't always that way. This used to be a pretty novel idea, even as far back as when Brett Manning was up and coming and starting to put forward these ideas and this methodology of, hey, the mixed voice is the key, guys. The mixed voice is the key. And there were, of course, other coaches that preceded Brett Manning who were doing that as well. But Tyler WYSONG, this is what he just hammers over and over and over and over again. Mixed voice, mixed voice, mixed voice. It's the key to achieving better tone, to hitting the high notes without exhausting your voice. It's the key to having a balanced voice from the bottom all the way to the top. Mixed voice is everything. And this is why if you go to Tyler WYSONG's YouTube channel, the majority of the videos are on the mixed voice. And that's done on purpose. It's because that is what you and I, people, students of vocal coaches like this, that's what we need. That is the information we need. That's what we need to be working on, is our mixed voice. Now, what exactly is the mixed voice? What do I mean by mixed voice, or what does Tyler WYSONG mean by the mixed voice? Now, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Tyler here because I'm sure that his answer to this would be a bit more elaborate and detailed and correct, but I'm going to give you the more rudimentary version, which is, you could think of mixed voice as a combination of your chest voice, your head voice, and your pharyngeal voice. What are those? Well, your chest voice is, hey, hey. Your chest voice basically lives from here down to your chest. You sing straight out of the mouth, hey, and you feel the vibration in your chest. That's chest voice. That is what most people speak in. When they're speaking to you, they're generally mostly in their chest voice. The second voice is the head voice, which is woo, woo. You could also think of that as falsetto. Falsetto, head voice, you can kind of mesh them together because it's so vague as to what the line is between them anyway. So we have chest voice, head voice, and then pharyngeal voice, which is the nasal sort of It's the sharp, the that type of sound. So what we're doing in a mixed configuration is we are in some ways combining the chest voice, hey, the head voice, hey, and the pharyngeal, hey. And we're kind of putting them together in a blender. Now, the reason that I say that Tyler would explain this much better is because I don't know that that's exactly the right way of conceptualizing it, at least from an objective standpoint. But I think just as again, from a rudimentary perspective, I think it's a great place to start from, just to get a basic understanding of what is happening. The reason I bring that up is because I think I've heard Tyler WYSONG mention it, that it's kind of actually a new place. Mixed voice is almost a new configuration rather than the combination of the configurations. But I might be just going off the path there. I don't know as much about this stuff as Tyler does, but still, I think, again, this is a good place to start from. You're mixing chest voice, head voice, and the pharyngeal voice together. And so when you think of singers who have mastered the mixed voice, in popular culture and popular music, think of Bruno Mars. I think Bruno Mars is such an easy singer to point to because that's where he lives. Bruno Mars lives in mixed voice. He's never not in mixed voice. You know, if you go listen to Bruno Mars, everything is mixed voice. And you can hear it. I mean, he's singing all these high notes from like the start of the song to the end of the song. It's all high notes, but yet it feels very free. It doesn't feel exhausting. It seems almost like it's somewhat easy for him. And that's because it is somewhat easy for him, because he's in mixed voice. Mixed voice is the key. And of course, I could go on and on about how to find it. That takes time. It might take a little bit it'll take a lot of practice. It'll take perhaps going to Tyler WYSONG's YouTube channel, watching a bunch of his videos, maybe even getting some one-on-one coaching sessions with Tyler or another vocal coach that you trust that speaks about mixed voice and these types of things, because mixed voice is the key. Mixed voice is so important. If you don't have it, you are just putting yourself way behind the 8 ball, and you need mixed voice if you want to have that compelling tone, especially as you get into the higher ranges and when the songs that you're singing have that higher range. All right, so there you go. That's number 2, the number 2 insight I learned from Tyler WYSONG. The number 3 insight is very important, and it is pay attention to the sensations you feel. The reason I bring this up is because we kind of already did this. Remember in the 5 singing fundamentals earlier on in module 1 here, I talked about the magic exercise. That was the second singing fundamental. The magic exercise, which is you start out with an exercise like a mum 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 mum, or except you don't really do the scales as much as you do the melody. So if you have a song that you're singing, right? See, there's a lost girl in my sights, but see, there's a lost girl in my sights, but so let's take that lip roll exercise, right? When you do the lip roll exercise and you sing a melody with it, there's a certain sensation. There are sensations that are happening. And when you pay attention to those, the power comes in when you can then extract that sensation or lean that sensation, or I guess overlap it into when you're singing the actual words. So, see, there's a lost girl in my sights, but see, I'm trying to retain that feeling and that sensation from the exercise and stretch it out into when I'm actually singing the words of the song. This is so important. You want to, when you're practicing exercises, when you're trying to build your voice up and strengthen the muscles within your voice, as well as the mind muscle connection and everything like that. When you're building these skills and you're using exercises to help build your voice, really pay attention to the sensations and then try to increasingly over time. This will take time, but the goal is to be able to sing an exercise and immediately apply the sensation of that exercise to an actual song, to actual words that you're singing for actual songs. This is a game changer. You need to be able to be aware of the sensations of how you feel on an exercise and then being able to recognize it and access it, right? Because if you feel like you're having an off day when you're singing, and even in the middle of a song, you might be like, man, I feel off. And then you can access the sensation of like an exercise, like a or an NG, like you can remember, because you've done the exercises so often and you've done the routine so much, you can on the fly bring that in and apply it to the song that you're singing. So remember the sensations, pay attention to them, and they will serve you so well the more that you practice and the more that you sing songs. All right, the number 4 insight that I learned from Tyler WYSONG is swallowing muscles are bad in singing. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this. This is very similar to when we were talking about Brett Manning and I mentioned tongue tension. This is very similar to that because they are often connected. If you have tongue tension, often the swallowing muscles are engaged. First of all, what are the swallowing muscles? Well, they are the muscles underneath the chin. And if you put your thumb underneath your chin like this, where it's all like soft and blubbery, when you swallow, you can feel the muscles come down. Hence why they're called swallowing muscles. Another time that swallowing muscles are engaged is when you yawn. Oh, you can feel them come down. Oh, right? And your turn. You can yawn now. And that's another example. Another thing is if you're singing and your lyrics comes up and you're kind of stretching, your swallowing muscles activate. Swallowing muscles are such a no-no because they restrict you, they hinder you, they are a roadblock to you being free as a singer. They are a roadblock to you expressing the song and singing it in a way that is impactful. Swallowing muscles are just simply a roadblock to that. They're not meant to be used in singing. They're meant to be used in swallowing and yawning and things of that nature, not for singing. And so this is another one of those things, just like with tongue tension, the first step is to build awareness. Become aware of, oh, my swallowing muscles are engaged. And you do that by literally putting your thumb underneath your chin, sing through a song, and just pay attention to what happens. Become aware. And then from there, you start to build that mind-muscle connection. You start to literally command these muscles to relax. You just command them to relax over and over and over and over again. And the more you do that, the more that you can keep these muscles relaxed as you're singing, as you're going to higher notes, lower notes, medium notes, the whole scale, then you are going to have you're going to be so much more free in your singing abilities. Your tone's going to be better. Your range is going to be better. And you'll just not have that roadblock hindering you anymore. And you'll be able to express what you actually want to in the songs that you're singing. Okay? So there you go. Swallowing muscles, they're bad. Don't use them. Try your very best to avoid engaging your swallowing muscles when you sing. All right, and finally, we got one more insight that I want to share with you that I learned personally from my vocal coach, Tyler WYSONG, which is when in doubt, cover your mouth. When in doubt, cover your mouth. What does this mean? This simply means, let's say you're practicing a song. Let me grab my guitar for this. If I grab my guitar and I'm like, won't you stay a while? Or if I were to go even like a higher version of that, won't you stay a while, Jessica? If I'm struggling to hit that high note and I'm practicing the song and I'm like, won't you stay a while? And I'm like, straining. I'm not quite hitting it in a good way. What you want to do there is cover your mouth, or simply use an exercise that has the mouth either completely closed or almost closed. So that can be any exercise from, so I could go, won't you stay a while? Or like, or this is one of my favorite ones, is when you like use, you create that resistance. Won't you stay a while? And then you can find that placement. You can find the pocket of where that good tone is. You can find the mixed voice. This is one of the keys, one of the tricks to finding your mixed voice, by the way, is using these mouth closed exercises. So again, lip rolls, the puffy cheek, singing through a straw is another example of that. Singing through, I know Tyler loves to do this. I don't really have a card on me, but you can use like a business card or a credit card. This might work too, like an index card. But that's basically the puffy cheek with like some, it adds the feedback of the buzzy card, so it allows you to hear how consistent you're being with things like your airflow and the pressure and all of that. So there you go. When in doubt, cover your mouth. If you're practicing a song, you're not quite hitting the notes the way that you want, and you just feel you feel off, take a break from it and go learn the melody and get your brain used to the melody using a closed mouth exercise. This is an absolute game changer, so be sure to implement it next time that you're struggling on a song. All right, so those are the 5 insights that I learned from my personal coach, Tyler WYSONG. Again, if you want to learn more about especially mixed voice and you just want to become more educated, go to his YouTube channel, watch a bunch of Tyler's videos. And if you want to go even farther, do what I did. Go book a few coaching lessons with him. It's going to change your life. If you truly invest not just your money, but your time and your energy, and you follow a system and you let Tyler coach you up, you're going to see transformational results. It's amazing what happens when you just put yourself in there, you allow yourself to get educated, you open yourself up to that transformation. Amazing things can happen. All right. And that's why I made Wow Factor Vocals here. I want you to experience that transformation. All right. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let's move on to the next one.